Alright, I'm still getting stuff set up. So, pulling out ingredients. I'm about to watch out for my headset so my audio can actually be clear. Jeez. I see why people have like just straight up setups that they keep utilized for their live streams or whatever. But seeing as though my phone is my camera and my camera is in my kitchen or has to be taken with me, this is what we get. So a bunch of blah 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 until I actually get fully set up. Okay. All right. Still setting up. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so I got my hazelnuts, got my bananas that are overly ripe. Okay, measuring cups, multiple. We have multiple bowls. I don't have the flour. Got multiple spoons. Like I said, I'm still setting up, so just give me a second, y'all. Yeah, just gotta be flour. All right. Hey, girl. Hey, you made it. All right, I'm still setting up, so just give me a second. Getting life together. It's a multiple step process because I figured some of this stuff would be cool to just see on live. So, um, no worries, no worries. So I'm actually going to blend out the oats to make the oat flour. I'm gonna mash up my hazelnuts because they didn't get all the shell off when I tried to roast them, but it's fine. So we're just gonna try to beat the heck out of them, and then we'll sift them through the handy dandy sifter, and yeah, we'll see what it do. So this is, of course, as you can see, my bananas are like very much so overly ripe. So the recipe only calls for 3/4 of them. So what I'm going to end up doing probably is putting them back in the refrigerator, and we'll figure out another recipe to use these for. Um, I'm going to mash them up on this plate over here, but I'm going to do that once it's that time for that process because I don't want them just sitting like mashed up getting brown. I'm sure they're already brown. So what I'll do first is get ready to do the dry ingredients. And there is no, for this particular one, there's no reason to sift them, but I'm going to sift them because I want to. It's just, again, out of natural habit. But there's no baking powder, no baking soda, so you don't really have to worry about that being quote unquote sifted through. I will actually still do the whisk through because, again, I just think that helps incorporate all the ingredients better. So we'll use the little bowl or the smaller bowl out of the two for the actual dry ingredients because all that will be doing is being folded into the wet ingredients once we get that process ready. So the regular flour, we're doing a cup and a third, simply because I wanted to add in some oat flour. I had a subscriber a skillet head suggest that I use some alternative ingredients as opposed to just strictly butter and the usual suspects. So I was like, sure, we'll do applesauce, we'll do some peanut butter, or if you're allergic to peanut butter, which she has explained or expressed to me that her sons are allergic to peanut butter. So almond butter will work in this recipe, cashew butter if you have it. Um, just the variations of the sort. If you don't have either, coconut oil. I would just say if you're using the coconut oil to make sure that the cookie's set. So here's 1 cup of flour going in. Just make sure that this cookie's set in the refrigerator before you try to bake them because I know coconut oil has more of a tendency to liquefy once it's heated. And I'm sure you don't want cookies runneth over on your cookie rack or your baking sheet. So just a rule of thumb. I haven't tried it with the coconut oil, so I don't have any actual like feedback per se on that specifically on this specific recipe with coconut oil. But I do know coconut oil has a tendency to spread just a little bit in regards to when you're baking with it. naturally because when it melts, it turns into liquid. So this is the third cup. Hello. I'm making nut muffin chocolate chip cookies with alternative ingredients to help for those that have allergies, or to help with those who are cutting back on certain things. I will put the actual recipe of what the real ingredients are with the butter in the caption below, or not in the caption, in the actual video. All right, so that was the flour. We're gonna do a dish dash of salt. I never measure salt. If you heard of my chicken recipe, I don't. Yeah, salt is just whatever. I've never oversalt things. So I have my handy dandy Nutri baby bullet from when my babies were babies. Obviously, I used to make their food. I was going to blend it up off camera, and then my husband was like, "Oh, they actually might want to see that." And I was like, that's valid. So handy dandy has 1 cup of oats in here. I use 5-grain oats. If you've heard in my previous videos, I like the texture of 5-grain oats. Regular oats over like the quick oats and the old-fashioned oats, they still have like a loose texture to me, so I like the actual texture of chewing on something. So I like 5-grain oats. This is gonna be noisy because this joint has gone through like some things. It's not even plugged in. I'm sorry. Okay, plugged in. So yeah, like I said, it has been on its last leg for for some years now. Hello, you made it! Yay! All right, so I'm blending up some oat flour now. It's very noisy. And to be honest, nope, we're gonna do a little bit more. I see some flakes in there. And I know people act like the substitutes to the flours are so difficult. So like oat flour, if you're gluten free, honestly, just buy you some gluten free oats and make your own oat flour. It's literally ground up oats, and yes, that's really all it is. So we're gonna pour this in with they are perfect. So we're gonna pour this in with the 1 1/3 cup of flour. So this is the oat flour. This is 1 cup. Oh, I didn't even measure it. My bad. We're measuring it because I want to make sure that it's actually 1 cup. And yep. As the excess comes out, we got 1 cup of oat flour. So we're gonna sift that in and then whisk it all together. So I have a cohesive flour mixture. So again, this is just a dash. The recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I did a dash. 1 1/3 cup of flour, and then a cup of oat flour. Now, if you're just doing this without using oat flour, you will use 2 1/3 cups of regular flour. If you are using the oat flour, that's just 1 cup. I only subbed out a cup of it for this particular recipe. And again, I recreated this recipe on my own. Like I said, I substituted out a lot of the ingredients. So therefore, some of this is a test recipe. We're going to see if it works. If it works, then it's a yay. If it doesn't, then we will test it out again, and we'll see where we messed up at and go from there. We're going to get them shavings in there. Cool. So let me get my whisk. Wait, I'm going to need this again. I forgot. Alright, so we're going to whisk this in, mix the mixture together, and then, as you know the drill, set the dry mixture to the side so we can get the wet mixture going. So bananas will be just 3/4 of a cup. As one of my Skillet heads said, these are perfect bananas for making banana bread, banana cookies, whatever you desire to make with your overly ripened bananas. I stored them in the refrigerator on Monday because I said, yeah, I got to do something with them because, like I said before, we can't be wasting ingredients out here. Food costs too much, man. And I know I don't want to remind people because I know it'd be rough out here, but yeah, no, we try not to waste in this household. So simply, we're at the point where a fork will mash this joint up just as well as you need it to be. I highly doubt this is 3/4 of a cup, but we're gonna measure it out just to see. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I tend to say the better the mash, the more it blends into the actual baked good. Unless you are a chopped banana, like I like to taste the banana mush into the mush mush. But so we're gonna weigh it, measure it out. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need one more, like half of one. And I'm also making my kids some fish toast, fish sticks. So I'm actually going to be checking the oven in a few seconds to make sure, or to flip them and whatnot. We had just came from the park, and there was this rim at the park that was short enough. It was like rims for like 10-year-olds, 10 and younger. So like, I was trying to dunk on the rim, and when I tell you, yeah, I had no idea the level of like strength from legs to core to arms that was needed to dunk. Yeah, I applaud the basketball players, man, and like the kids out here trying to really learn how to play basketball and like giving it their all. Yeah, I applaud them because who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? And I'm not athletic. I'm not the most athletic, but I'm definitely not athletic. So yeah, just going through the motion, I said, oh, I'm gonna feel this tomorrow. And literally, as I drove home and I got out the car, I could feel it all in the back of my legs, the glutes, my upper arms. I said, yep, this is gonna be felt tomorrow. But it was fun. It was fun. I literally have never even attempted in my life to dunk outside of like a Fisher Price rim. So it was actually cool to be able to try to do it on like concrete. All right, so we have our 3/4 of a banana mashed. Okay. He was like 4 to 4, maybe. Yeah. See, I just started liking bananas as I became an adult. Bananas was not my go-to when I was younger for whatever reason. I honestly have no idea. I just did not like bananas when I was younger. So like as an adult, I've begun to like them. That's a lot of bananas. All right, we are gonna do the wet ingredients. So like I said, if you're using butter, by all means, this is where you now add your butter in. This is if you're using the butter, it's a cup of butter. If you're using applesauce, this is where we come in. So we're doing a half a cup of applesauce and then a half a cup of peanut butter. I'm measuring out the applesauce first because hopefully it'll give like the peanut butter some oomph to get about the measuring cup so I can get all of it for the most part. You know how sticky peanut butter is. So a simple cup of, or half cup of applesauce. I'm using unsweetened Kroger brand. Again, I'm not a brandy brand person, but here we are. So this is a half a cup. And then we'll get that in there. And then the next will be, again, Kroger brand peanut butter. If you've seen my short on peanut butter, you'll know why I'm using quote-unquote natural. It's 2 ingredients, peanuts and salt. None of the extra hydrogenated oils that are truly unnecessary for peanut butter. So this is half a cup of peanut butter. Pour that in there. What I'm going to do, the recipe didn't call for this because obviously I'm substituting stuff out. Yeah, look at that. Nice slickness. So what I'm going to do is blend this applesauce and peanut butter together first. And then I'm going to add in the cup of brown sugar. Because I want it to like get some consistency together, blend it before I try to add in a third ingredient. So give me 1 second so I can get my mixer situated. Okay. And then while I'm here situating my life, let me go check on these fish sticks. I feel like I'm the only one that flips fish sticks in the oven. Yeah, I think I'm the only person that flips the fish sticks in the oven. I like an even crisp crunch, whatever you want to call it. All right, so what we got? When I was younger, and much lighter, my husband was 60. Oh, that's sweet, man. I was always like the tallest one in the class, so like, yeah, the thoughts of me being picked up by someone was not a thing. See, okay, you do have to flip them. Thank you. All right, so like I said, in the bowl right here, we have our peanut butter and our applesauce combined. It's a half cup of applesauce, half cup of peanut butter. This is to substitute for the full cup of butter that the recipe called for. So if you're using butter, by all means use your butter, make sure it's softened. But I'm mixing up the applesauce and the peanut butter just to get a bit of consistency together in this mixture before I add in the brown sugar. Because if you know anything about creaming butter and sugar together, it needs to be creamed together to create your light and fluffy mixture and all of that jazz. So what I'm trying to do is recreate that concept of having a light, cohesive batter mixture, wet mixture, for the cookies to go in. So if you can see, it actually lightened up. This is actually interesting. It actually did lighten up. So that's cool to see. But that's, if you know anything about butter and brown sugar or sugar in general, the color will lighten. So it's actually cool to see that the color lighten. All right, we got some progress here. Got some progress. All right, so next is the brown sugar. Again, it's 1 full cup of brown sugar. Light or dark, doesn't matter. I bought dark last time, so we're using dark. Like I said before, I buy light, I buy dark. I know some recipes, if you're looking for a more lighter result, you'll use the light brown sugar. If you're looking for a deeper, richer taste, more caramelized, you'll go for the brown sugar. But again, I feel like it's preference, or it's based on what you got in the cupboard. That was always a difficult word when I was younger. But yeah, so I'm scooping out my cup of brown sugar, chonder, behind the screen. My canister, I don't want to move too much stuff. So we have essentially kind of like an uneven cup of brown sugar, but it's in there. And my headphones are swinging. Okay, let me remove things. Alright, so that cup of brown sugar just went in, and now we will be mixing this together. Okay, so again, looking for that lighter, cohesive look, like how we had with the peanut butter and the applesauce. We're going to get that same, not the same, but we're going to look for that similar color, similar texture with this right here. I don't have my scrapey. I gotta get my spatula. Un momento, por favor. We just gonna start off with the big boy right now, because I always grab the little one and have to switch out from the little one to the big one, so just to save me from having to wash dishes. I despise washing dishes sometimes, especially when I've washed them already, like in the day. So if I don't have to wash a lot of dishes, I will prevent it. And I also don't have a dishwasher. Again, I think I've talked about this. So I'm hand washing dishes, and yeah, multiple times a day is a bit extreme sometimes. So I'm gonna mix it one more time on 3, just to get it up there, and the consistency and the lightness of it. Isn't it wonderful? Like, you could actually, know that your words are being picked up without feeling like you gotta talk overly loud over something like a mixer. Yeah, it feels good. Okay, so I feel like we are at a good place. Yeah. We'll go with yeah. All right, next is the 3/4 cup of banana that we mashed up a few minutes ago, and we're gonna get that in there, and then vanilla. And honestly, like, this is a super simple recipe from the obviously from the looks of it. The next thing I'm gonna have to do, because I didn't have this prepped out, because I said, like, you guys might want to see me beating on some hazelnuts. I don't know. Maybe I can transfer y'all, aggression or energy that may be lingering through the, what is this called, rolling pin, onto the wonderful hazelnuts that didn't shell. So let's get the vanilla, and then we will blend in the vanilla and the bananas. All right, vanilla goes in. You see? So we still have a little bit left. Again, I don't measure vanilla. We'll do a little bit more. Okay. And then I'll have a dishwasher actually. Whew. Yeah, no, I feel that I'm cabinet space. It's never enough cabinet space, man. Even when you think you have enough cabinet space, you don't have enough cabinet space. It's the craziest phenomenon. All right, so we're blending in the banana and the vanilla. And I'm actually got this on high because I'm gonna break up some of the banana chunks. Again, it's just gonna create a more smoother finished product, in my opinion. especially since we're not going for particular banana bread. We're going for cookies. So, yes. Low-key same. All right. So, we're doing half and half. Uh, I'm going to pause because I want to break up these hazelnuts first. All right. So, rolling pin. Hazelnuts that have been roasted but didn't get all the shells off of. And if they don't come off, we're just going to be eating some wonderfully shelled hazelnuts, man. It's fine. So, I'm going to be banging, so I apologize if it's overly loud and if my camera shakes. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Oh, they bust out the bag. I didn't account for that. I did not account for that, actually. All right. We will continue to beat. Watch my fingers. And honestly, we just finna rock with it how it is. Like, even if the little shells are on here, I'm sure the shells ain't never hurt nobody. People eat peanuts with the little shells, like little shell remnants on them all the time. Might get stuck in your throat or something, but you know, it's fine. That's why you got water. Sheesh. That was a thunderous hit there. It's like some super big pieces over in the corners. But honestly, we have success. I'm going to get these bad boys up out of here. And then we'll scoop this on out of here. Alright. We have holy hazelnuts chopped. Alright. And actually, I'm about to check these fish sticks. So give me 1 second. So I'm over here thinking I'm a true warrior, trying to flip these joints without a spatula or like the tongs or anything, and I'm swiftly just burning my fingertips. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm done now. It's okay. Little burnt fingertips never hurt anything. All right. Cleaning my space. So next, back to the mixing of the flour and the wet ingredients. So you always add, not always, this recipe calls for you adding the dry into the wet. So we will do a shimmy, 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 shimmy of some of them. I'm going to mix it in on low just to get it blended in a little bit. And then we'll add in the next batch of flour, and that will be the final batch. Then the next thing will be folding in the chocolate chips. Folding in the hazelnuts and folding in the chocolate chips. I'm using dark chocolate chips for this recipe just because naturally dark chocolate chips and banana are delicious. Yes, the multitasking of a mom, man. It really gets your brain working, honestly. It's like, oh, did I do this? Yes. Did I do this? Yes. Okay, cool. We're on track. All right, so shimmy, shimmy, shimmy in there. Again, that mixture was the flour, salt, and the regular flour, salt, and oat flour mixture. So mix, mix, mix. I'm checking my recipe again to make sure we got everything that's supposed to be in here. Because like I said, sometimes I'll get to the last step and be like, oh man, we done forgot the whole essential part of the recipe. Now I'm gonna go in and just go in and hand mix because you don't want to, you don't want to overmix things. This is some. You can see the oat flour in it. You can see the difference of the. It's not a smooth, super smooth batter. So that's actually interesting. Yeah, I can see how this is going to need to be refrigerated. And I might actually have to refrigerate it before I scoop them because this is some. Oh, let me add the nuts in. Okay, let me finish it out. Low key same. All right, so we will add in the hazelnuts. Goodness gracious. All right, so this was actually a half a cup of hazelnuts. I measured it out before I roasted them and pulverized them. So, yes. We will assume, if anything, we lost like a little bit. Okay. Get that little bit of dough off of there. And then I'm going to push this over to the side. So we can get some hand mixing in here. Okay, there it is. All right. So it's not as loose as it was. I got a little nervous. So it was like, man, I don't want to have to super refrigerate this. Because I don't know if you've ever had to scoop cold dough. It is not fun, man. It's not fun at all, actually. So we have the hazelnuts in with everything else. I'm going to go get the chocolate chips. Again, I keep them in the freezer. Because, yeah, sometimes it's hot in my house. 1 second. It's great because, and I know the people in the chat have definitely eaten raw dough. We've talked about this without cooking it, or tasting the dough, licking the batter, all of that stuff. So like I just tasted this batter. Unfortunately, there's no egg in it. So this is a batter that you can eat with no issue. I guess for the people who cook the flour to make it edible, like when I was a kid, we wasn't cooking flour to make it edible. So I don't and I get it, salmonella is a thing or whatever, but like I don't recall ever getting salmonella from eating raw egg out of a batter, nor eating some raw flour out the dough, out the cookie dough. And it's just a thing. Anywho, we got a quarter cup. I have my chocolate chips, and I thought a quarter cup was gonna be too little. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just. Yep, that's what we're doing, and yep, that's what we're doing. So that was a half a cup. Here, baby. So that was a half a cup. It's doing thick now.
I did. What are you making?
I'm making banana nut muffin chocolate chip cookies. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's not enough chocolate chips in here. Sorry.
What's that?
I'll add a little bit more.
I got a little bit more.
Okay, there we are. All right, baby. This is it, okay? Because you gotta eat dinner soon. Okay.
When it fell on me.
All right. Thank you. I don't know why men can drink eggs. I also would never drink an egg. I'm just saying. We make coquito for Christmas. See? You see? It's like, I guess maybe we're all built different. But like, yeah, that wasn't a thing, man. And I was a kid. So it's like, no, I should have been like keeled over the toilet, like just done for the night. But no, was perfectly fine. Was the A1. All right, I'm cleaning off my space just a little bit. I broke the whatchamacallit. All right, I'm gonna clean my space a little bit so I can bring out the pan so I can attempt to see if these cookies should be scooped or if I should let them refrigerate. So that's the test right now. I'm gonna see, should we refrigerate for a minute or if we can scoop out, because if I have to just refrigerate, then this live is gonna be cut short. But we will see. Yes, the sneaking of the chocolate chips whenever they can. Absolutely. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, move that back. I was prepared with the tray, so that's good. I think my battery just told me that's at 20%. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I love eggnog. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, eggnog is delicious. See, yeah, eggnog is even raw egg. You know, the homemade version of it is raw. I made eggnog one year, and actually I cooked the egg, so it was very interesting. It was like a milkshake essentially, but it was good. All right, so let's see how soft this dough is. Can we get a cookie formed? Ooh, we can. It hasn't fallen. Get out of here. It kept its shape. All right. So, I guess we will be scooping it out. The recipe said like 32 cookies. That seems like a lot, but we're going to see. I'm going to try and make it as even as possible to make adding easier for myself at the end of this. So, right now I'm at 4. So, if that's the case, I should be able to do like 8 by 4 and get 32. But I never get the amount of final product that the people say that they get. Like if I'm making pancakes or something, they're like, oh, you can get 12. I get like 10. And I'm using the quarter cup like everybody else, so I don't be understanding what's going on with that. And then, what is this? 7. I can't count, like I said. 2, 4, 6, 7. Ooh, look at me. All right, and then 8. I just want to see if I'm gonna get the 32. I'm not even gonna have enough space. Okay. I should have started in the corner. Spatial recognition is trash. My husband literally used to talk about me when I would park. Because being in Chicago, like, parallel parking is damn near the only parking that you have. It's very, very rare to pull into a parking spot unless you're at a grocery store. And he used to tell me, like, yo, you're getting real close to that car, try to back into the park. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Meanwhile, I've had my license the longest because again, things that I appreciate my daddy taught me. But my daddy taught me how to drive. So, yes, these scoops are super handy. Like, I use them for meatballs. I use them for cookies. Yes, I use them to scoop ice cream because they get the perfect size scoops for the kids. Like, yes, very universal. Um, my daddy taught me how to drive. So, but he taught me how to drive. Now, parallel parking was like, oh, figure it out. Cool. Okay, we'll figure it out. I thought I was pretty good at it. Lo and behold, my husband's like perfect at it. Because of spatial recognition, it's like A1. And he literally used to tell me, like, yo, you're getting real close. You're getting real close. Why you get so close to that car? And meanwhile, I'm like, nah, it's fine. I'm good. And I get out and I was like, oh, I absolutely could have tapped that bumper. So it's just interesting how spatial recognition actually flows over to, like, things such as making cookies and having enough space so you can have an even amount of cookies on your tray. Small things. As I hit the headphone with the cookie dough. Wonderful. I appreciate y'all's support throughout this wonderful process of me figuring out how to go about my lives, my shorts, my long form videos. I was real down last week because I felt like this New York is the worst. I can imagine that actually. I can actually imagine that. Like, New York is a whole nother beast within itself. But yeah, so, like, I felt like this whole controversy of, like, Diddy and, like, all the woo up the bam that's going on in the world, like, really took over the YouTube airwaves, and it put a lot of us the lower creators or whatever, content creators, who aren't even talking about that stuff. Because let's keep it a buck. If you know about Diddy, you know about the allegations from the 90s, yo. So it's like, this shouldn't be shocking to anyone at this point. But I just found it crazy. Like, yo, everybody's algorithm is talking about this. That's amazing. So I was real down because I was like, I feel like I'm being affected by this. Just the hoopla of it all. Even though I don't even want to be part of it, because I genuinely, overall, don't care about it. If you've paid attention to hip hop culture, rap culture, you would have seen this is coming. Honestly, so it's not shocking. But it was defeating because I felt like I was fighting, of course, unseen forces. So here we are. And I wanted to take a new approach. So I've been playing with the idea of going live for a little while now, and I finally mustered up the courage to do it. And I kind of like it. Like, I got a little setup going with how I feel like it should go. These type of longer videos. It also helps me with post editing, y'all. Like, doing long form videos is cool. I like them, like the long form cooking videos. But, like, the amount of editing that's needed, drop some of those, please. Drop some of them, please. Give me 1 second, y'all. Drop some of them, please. Here, all done, okay? Seriously, all done. So with the amount of editing that has to go on with the post cooking videos, with the audio, and, like, having to create the best commentary for it. Not even the best commentary, but commentary that can be edited, is difficult. So it's definitely hard. And I sometimes lose train of thought. Sometimes I don't have enough words to level out with a 5-minute video. So the challenge is there. So these ones are actually kind of easier for me overall with getting it done. And I do like that. So I'm able to talk about what we're doing. I'm able to go over the ingredients with you, etc., etc. So it actually helps with me and my overall goals, just getting this stuff done, like in a live video as opposed to long form videos. So Again, I appreciate y'all being here. Especially. Okay, I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling in the chat just so I can see what's going on. See, see. Just they literally don't call it Hollywood for nothing. You know, like it's being a kid, it was like, oh, I want to be a celebrity, whatever, or want to be famous. And see, for me, it was just because like the count was real. Like it was like, oh no, they get paid a lot. But like the idea of a celebrity, man, like that's just the idea of celebrityism is crazy. Like in my opinion, it's a crazy phenomenon. This tray looks like it's full, so we're gonna go pop this in the freezer, just so I can get another tray ready to get them set up to be frozen. But I'm gonna give you a count real quick. Two, four, oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Yeah, we're at 37. I'm probably gonna have like 45. So give me a second. I'm about to go pop this in the freezer. And because I was underprepared in the idea, not thinking I was going to need two trays, let me prep the second tray with parchment paper. Um, like, yeah, doing voiceovers is a struggle, man. And then, like, I feel like my memory's gotten worse. So, it's definitely like, oh, snaps. What did I just say? Yep, I don't remember. Cool. So now I got to redo this. And like, if you punch in and punch out, I feel like you can hear the change of audio. So it, that affects me as well because it's like I don't want to hear like I just chopped in or whatever. But I'm like, well, rappers do it, singers do it. They chop in or whatever. So it's like, it's fine. But it's also like they also have an audio engineer behind their scenes, and so it's the idea of wanting to be perfect or have the best product that you can provide without without being taking so much time. Like, I'm cooking or whatever, and I have a family. So the idea that I don't want to be sitting in front of a TV, a computer, trying to do post edits and audio and voiceovers. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want that to be the most consumption of my time. So I try to. This seems to work out just fine for me right now. I don't know if it. I don't know if it'll last. But at this very moment, it looks good. It feels good. I like how it feels. I like how this works out. I get to have some people come in and talk to me without having to like, oh wait, did she respond? Because like sometimes I see that the comments, that I don't get notified that I got a response on the comment, so I'll forget, and I'll come back and it's like, oh dang, 48 hours later, cool. But I understand we all have lives and stuff, so people do understand that you just can't come back immediately to respond to a comment. Um, but no, this is like, yeah, this is literally like chit chatting with friends and like cooking. Except y'all can't try what I'm making, unfortunately. So I'm sorry. I actually looked at your sister's page. I subscribed to her. I like the funness of her content. I commented on a few of her videos, but I like her content. I've never been to Disney World, but it's fine. I can live vicariously through others. All right, so this left us with, what was it, 45 on the other one, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we have a total of 53 little itty bitty bitty cookies. I'm pretty sure these aren't gonna bake out big, but that's fine. Like I said, I got little hands here, and I like to monitor how much they eat. Um, if you remember my wonderful non-chicken video, the flatbread video, me saying that the smaller the bread, the more I thought I could eat. Yeah, that's not a real thing. So we will limit to the to the numbers that I think are feasible for the babies. Um, but this is essentially the end of this video because, like I said, this was just going to be the prepping of the dough. I am going to bake some after they chill. It takes 20 minutes for them to set up in the refrigerator. I put mine in the freezer, so I'm actually going to cut it down to like 10 minutes. But like I said, it's hard for me to it really is hard for me to keep commentary going sometimes, especially staying on topic or whatnot. So I will be baking them after they set, and then I will do a short with the end results, similar to how I did the chocolate ice cream recipe. So that way you can come back at your own time, not feel like you have to be logged in or whatnot to the video. I'm sure some of y'all appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all. But just for consistency and convenience or whatever, it is Wednesday night. I know people have lives. I know at least two of the people here have kids or families and loved ones. So I do appreciate y'all coming through. This was a on the whim recipe. I did this specifically for my my New York, South Carolina friend because she asked if we can find some if we can do some substitute outs for some healthier substitutes, and that's what this was. Again, the original recipe is 1 cup of flour or 1 cup of sugar. Sorry, 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup of banana mash, vanilla, 2 1/3 cup of flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 cup of walnuts. I didn't have walnuts. I had hazelnuts. We improvised. The hazelnuts pair very well with chocolate chips, hence why there's chocolate chips in these cookies now. The oat flour was a substitute just because, some people are allergic to flour. Some people want the extra fiber. We added the oat flour. Now, the oat flour, I said, I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but the oat flour that I used is 5-grain oats. I genuinely just don't like the texture of the old-fashioned or quick oats. So 5-grain oats have a little bit more oomph to them, more chew, more texture. So that's what was blended out. I blended that on camera as well. And we used a cup of oat flour and 1 cup and 1 1/3 cup of regular flour. Again, I use unbleached flour. I don't think it matters, but it only matters if you care that it matters. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. That's what the recipe called for. I don't measure vanilla. I used a 1/2 cup of applesauce and a 1/2 cup of peanut butter to compensate for that full cup of butter that was not used. So I will put the original recipe in the description as well as my recipe. So for those that want to try both and just do a comparison, that's also available as well. I mean, to do you, boo boo. If you want to do 1/2 cup of butter and 1/2 cup of peanut butter to get that richness of the butter, by all means do so. But I like to listen to y'all's because y'all support me, so I appreciate you guys supporting me. These again are banana nut muffin chocolate chip cookies. It's literally a mouthful to say. I can't wait to try them. Oh, with hazelnuts. Let me throw that in there as well. So yes, I appreciate y'all for checking me out, and that is just a little food for your skillet. Have a good night, y'all.